Able to donate 545 pounds of coats and blankets to the LA Mission this winter season.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
The LA Mission expressed its deep gratitude for our gift all over social media, but we wish to thank them and all the other service providers who look out daily for the less fortunate in our community, finding our happy by being helpful.
Hallelujah.
We're KBLA Talk 1580, where we do more than just talk.
Somebody's been praying for me.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this is gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss it. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
The destructive nature of ultimatums in relationships. Do ultimatums in relationships actually work? Could you get things your way by making that final demand, or is it too much to ask for? At one point in a relationship, we hit a dead end. We come to the point where it's either this or that. It means that most likely you or your partner have given an ultimatum to each other in an attempt to solve a situation that's caused a lot of issues. But is this the healthy way to look for a solution? Is there another way to get your relationship out of a dead end, or is giving ultimatums the only way to go? These are the questions many of us have wondered about. Do ultimatums in relationships come with a risk, and how often could you use them to get things done the way you want? How do ultimatums in relationships work? Ultimatums in relationships are usually based on one idea. You either do or stop doing something, or I will leave you. That's the main point that stands behind each and every ultimatum you give to your partner. So, it doesn't surprise us that ultimatums have a reputation of being unfair and unhealthy, because, to be honest, that's what they actually are. Sometimes you might get the idea that giving an ultimatum is the right way to go. You're standing up for yourself and setting your boundaries. You know what you want, and you're not afraid to ask for it. But the problem with ultimatums in a relationship is that they can make your partner feel like he's being threatened. You're pressuring your significant other into making decisions he's not ready to make. You're putting him in a cage where he's expected to do something, and if he doesn't, you're leaving. The main issue with this is that you take away from him the freedom of free will. You're literally pressuring him into doing something. As time goes by, this results in various consequences that you may not.
Man, I've been given ultimatums before in intimate relationships. I'm okay with boundaries. But when you give someone like me an ultimatum, I am the ultimate habitual line stepper. When you draw a line in the sand, that's a challenge to me. Oh, you want to play. Can we be honest? Most people respond that way. But I think healthy boundaries in a relationship are collaborative works. What works for you? What works for me? I think healthy boundaries are rooted in a win-win intentionality, right? I intend for you to get what you want. You intend for me to get what I want. Let's build this boundary so, we can have some level of distinction in terms of this is what I want and that's what you want. And if we're both getting that, then that's a win-win situation. So I think that's a skill that I don't think very many people really know how to cultivate. And Nzinga mentioned it on her call. If you came from a household that was ultimatum based, you modeled that style. People don't know. You don't get just your attachment styles from early childhood, but you also get your communication styles. So if we break down the communication styles, you have cooperative, collaborative, competitive, combative, and avoidant, right? So think about it. If you come from a competitive and combative kind of family where, yo, I'm finna talk to you reckless. I said, I'm finna talk to you crazy. You might take that style into your adult relationships. This is very interesting. The nuanced distinction between boundaries and ultimatums lies in the intent, execution, and relational dynamics they foster. Boundaries are rooted in self-respect and mutual understanding, offering clarity and respect for both partners. So what that tells me is healthy boundaries are dyadic. They're bidirectional. You see? They apply to both of us. It's not a boundary just for me. It's a boundary for we, right? This is how we protect what we've invested in. Does that make sense? Boundaries. Very important for healthy relationships to cultivate trust. Now, ultimatums, on the other hand, often arise from fear, control, or insecurity, imposing unilateral. See, there it is. It's just about me. Right? Imposing unilateral demands that stifle authenticity and trust. On tonight's episode of VOR, we're already an hour in. We're trying to explore the psychological, the philosophical, and the spiritual implications of these distinctions. We're going to try to offer some insights by listening to our callers, right, on how individuals can cultivate healthier, more sustainable relationship practices. All right? So let me get right to the callers. We got people on the line. I want to hear what they have to say tonight. We got Vanetta Colbert from Atlanta, Georgia. V. Colbert in the building. VC, what up? What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Hi, Ro.
Hey. Run for your life. Hey, it's good. It's good to hear you. How are you?
I'm okay, and I'm glad you're safe, and I'm glad you're okay.
Yes, ma'am. I'm all right. So what are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Boundaries are good. Boundaries are usually, healthy because the two of you can agree on boundaries. But when you start to set ultimatums, that's pretty much, to me, a way out.
Oh. So you're saying ultimatums are an extension of self-sabotage or sabotaging the relationship. Talk to me.
Yes, because I'm usually in long-term relationships. And over time, you're going to get to a point to where you might be thinking of ultimatums. You might be thinking of a way out, but you don't say it. You're just watching the situation. And then if the other person sets an ultimatum based on what you've been watching from them, and they've probably been watching you the same way, one or the other of you have already set in your mind that I'm going to set this ultimatum and either it's going to stick or it's over.
So by the time they get to ultimatums, they already know there's a chance this thing can derail and end, is what you're saying.
Yes, especially in a marriage, because whichever one of them set that ultimatum, chances are usually, well, I can only speak for me being the woman. If you set an ultimatum with me, chances are my mind has already been set on I'm out anyways.
Ooh.
Your ultimatum, I guess, is for you.
So let me ask you a question. Has someone ever given you an ultimatum, and have you ever given someone an ultimatum, and how did it turn out?
I never given an ultimatum. I can't say why, but I never have. But I have been given an ultimatum.
do you mind sharing the ultimatum that was given to you? You don't have to. You don't have to if you don't want to.
Let's just say, usually the relationship is broken down. It's breaking down over time anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And the two of you are well aware of that the relationship is breaking down.
Mm-hmm.
But neither one of you are really saying anything. Kind of like, I don't know, you're thinking along the same lines, but you're just waiting for something to change. And a lot of times, like I said, in a perfect world, things may change, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But in my situation, I was given an ultimatum.
And did you see that as an out? Because you said your mind, once he gave you the ultimatum, you were already thinking along those lines anyway, correct?
Yes. And I did see it as an out because maybe he didn't notice I'd been out.
So you were like, "Oh, really? I'm not taking the ultimatum. I got it.
I got it." And a lot of times that's why if men, I just feel like men are not very open. They don't really talk a lot. They're in the relationship, but they don't really express themselves in that way. So if they get to the point to where they set an ultimatum, chances are the ultimatum that they set it because they have watched the breakdown, I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure because, like I said, they don't talk a lot. Mm-hmm. Women do. So if a man sets an ultimatum for me, well, which it has happened, it's because a lot of times you wasn't listening. Because if you would have been listening and watching, your ultimatum came, it's late.
Wait a minute, Vanetta. I'm not going to let you besmirch the good name of the many good black men out here.
Not.
You're going to have to say some men. You can't.
I'm not.
The
and
women.
I'm not thinking of all men.
Okay, the women in the chat room are like, the men brood. They say men brood. Like, some men do this. Some of us, not all of us, right? Some men like to talk. Right?
I'm especially speaking of some. I would never speak of all because I know all men are not this way. I'm only speaking of my situation.
Your experiences. Yes.
So,
yes.
Yes. So in my situation, this particular man.
Him. We're going to call him
him.
Yes. Go ahead.
Call him. Because I believe that every household should have a man in it. I don't even believe in a household where there's no man. A man is needed in a household. So no, I'm not speaking of all men. But in my situation, what I'm saying is this particular man, when he gave me that ultimatum, it was just, you're late. But that did not build any type of mindset in my mind. Yes, and it's not building any type of mindset for me to say all men are that way. I don't know all men. I'm only in a relationship with him. So this only is for him.
We got you.
Mr.
Him. Mr. Himothy.
Mr. Him.
Okay.
Yes. And again, I don't get a relationship and I haven't. I'm not saying that it couldn't happen. Well, I have, but most of them, I'm not in there for a month or two, years, decades. So it's plenty of time. Well, just to say this, it's good that they're different experiences for different men, because if every lady looked at the man that they're with and put them in a category as all men are that way, That would be terrible.
That would.
No,
Yes.
no. It's never that. It's never that. And then again, I have to even give some of this responsibility on me.
Mm-hmm.
At that time when that happened, I wasn't accountable for a lot of things that I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
I was not who I am now.
So you were a co-creator of his. Were you?
Yes. I mean, that's in most situations. But yes, it's never one-sided.
Mm-hmm.
It's never one-sided. But to me, in all relationships, you have to weigh the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Is this person worth him giving you an ultimatum and you making it work? Or is this person not worth it? Or the relationship is broken? That's why people divorce or separate, because you have to weigh it. But
Vanetta,
I've now learned that
worth is such a powerful word. Are they worth that? To me, that or they're not worth it. That to me, that those are the seeds of devaluation. And
like throwing a person away. So maybe I'm saying that wrong.
No, but
I shouldn't say it that way.
No, but I hear what you're saying, and I actually understand what you're saying. Are you're saying, does this relationship matter to me? Is it meaningful enough for me to go all the way to the ends of the earth for it? Does that make sense?
Right. And that makes sense. And a lot of times I look at the root of what all of my relationships are rooted in.
Mm.
And that's God first.
Mm. Okay.
If we can't get past the thing that makes everything worth, it's God. If you leave him out of stuff, you're probably playing a losing game anyway.
I like it. Hey, Vanetta Colbert, a.k.a. VC, guess what you just did?
I just brought Atlanta, Georgia in the building.
Atlanta, Georgia is in the building. I appreciate the phone lines are popping. People want to talk about it when I come forward. We got Hawaii and we got Mississippi. Let's get it.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. Every girl deserves a chance to shine. That's the belief behind Forgiving for Living, Inc. Since 1999, this organization has been empowering at-risk girls ages 13 to 18, helping them overcome behavioral and mental health challenges. Founder Wendy Gladney's personal journey inspired the mission to give girls hope and purpose through the power of forgiveness. Through their ambassador program, workshops, and annual conference, Forgiving for Living has touched over 3,000 young lives, providing mentoring, life skills, training, and tools for building self-esteem and confidence. You can make a difference. Visit forgivingforliving.org to donate, volunteer, become a mentor, or find help for a young girl in need. Forgiving for Living, Inc., building brighter futures for young girls. Visit forgivingforliving.org today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
So this new dose is... nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide Free and Gentle provides an excellent Tide clean, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues like dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Imagine a Los Angeles where everyone can thrive, where communities have access to the resources they need to succeed. That's the vision of Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. They're dedicated to improving life in LA County by providing educational support, employment assistance, and spaces for community engagement. By 2050, they want LA to be the best place to connect, create, learn, live, and play. They're working toward an education system that's well-resourced and culturally responsive, becoming a hub for artists and innovators, and making sure everyone has access to healthy food, quality healthcare, and safe housing. It's about building a future where we all have the chance to succeed. We invite you to learn more about their mission and get involved with Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
I really don't like the word boundaries when it comes to marriage and relationships. And hear me out, because I can already sense many of you getting your heckles out and you're wanting to put the nasty comment already. But here's the reason. Especially when you look at a marriage or a family unit, and those are the two we'll focus on for this video, especially a marriage. A boundary, just by its word, like the word means something that I put up to protect me from you. And in an ideal relationship, especially a marriage, the idea is about taking down the walls between two people so that you have trust and you have vulnerability and you can be open with each other, and that there's nothing that is separating you from the other person. And so the word boundaries, I believe, can put a picture in someone's mind of how I need to separate myself or how I need to protect.
Pause that, because we're going to get back to her. But she brings up an amazing point, a very powerful point. So should we call them boundaries then? She says the word itself means to put up this kind of partition that separates me from you. Now, other folks that we play clips of, they said, no, it's the demarcation point where you end and I begin. Just depends on the perspective you're looking at it. But if we're taking what she's saying, which is looking at the word means, hey, I'm separate from you. I'm different than you. This is over here. There's some kind of wall, so to speak, between us. Why can't we just rename it to maybe relationship checkpoints, where we check in at those points of conditions, right? Or of contention, right? Relationship checkpoints. Hey, I did something that maybe made you feel a certain kind of way, right? Yeah, this means something to me. It may not mean something to you, but over here, the way I perceive it, it means this. So maybe relationship checkpoints might be better than boundaries if we get hung up on the word. Let her finish.
Especially when you look at a marriage or a family unit, and those are the two we'll focus on for this video, especially a marriage. A boundary, just by its word, like the word means something that I put up to protect me from you. And in an ideal relationship, especially a marriage, the idea is about taking down the walls between two people so that you have trust and you have vulnerability and you can be open with each other, and that there's nothing that is separating you from the other person. And so the word boundaries, I believe, can put a picture in someone's mind of how I need to separate myself or how I need to protect myself from you. And it can begin to actually lead us to wall part of ourselves off, or to in some ways see the other.
Because she cooking. So maybe it's not separate. Maybe separate is isolate myself from you is bad, but separate myself from you isn't always bad. I'm an individual. We're two separate individuals. And I think relationships are this dance of togetherness and apartness. Like, I can be apart from you, and that's okay. I get to have my own life, my own rhythm, my own vibe, and we come together and we have our own rhythm and own vibe, right? So maybe there's three vibes there. The vibe we create together and the vibe we collectively come with. And I think it's okay to be able to tap back into that autonomy, right? I think that's important. And I think just like the word boundary is being like kind of villainized here, maybe the word separate is being villainized here. Interdependence is part of it, right? Good points, ladies. Nzinga and Attila. Nzinga said autonomy and Attila said interdependence. I think that's good. Let her finish.
Can begin to actually lead us to wall part of ourselves off, or to in some ways see the other person as an enemy or as a threat. Now, that being said, that doesn't mean that I don't agree with the premise necessarily of boundaries. I think it is appropriate to be able to state your wishes and desires, or the expectations that you have of another person with them, in a healthy and a loving way. My husband and I have experienced our fair share of learning how to do this in the best way, or in better ways, as we've been married. We just celebrated 13 years of marriage, and there's definitely been times in our marriage where we've fought about things and I said things I shouldn't have, or my husband reacted in a way that he shouldn't have. And yes, we had to have a conversation about what rules of engagement should look like. Or there's been times in our marriage, as my husband and I have had shifting jobs. My husband was in the military when we were first married, and I was not employed. And then he got out of the military and he took some time off to figure out the next thing he wanted to do, while I was the person who was providing for the family. And we've shifted in that role through the years until, of course, now I work full time. I'm the CEO of a company, and he's been going back to flight school to become a commercial flight student or commercial airline pilot in the future. And so there's been conversations about, well, what do we need from each other with these shifting work demands and these shifting work schedules? And he would never call it a boundary, and I would never call it a boundary. But one of the things that my husband has needed for him during this time is the ability to pursue his dreams and his goals while feeling fully supported. And I've had to figure out how that looks because I work full time as well.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 things you should know from BIN News. Los Angeles firefighters are battling a new fire dubbed the Sunset Fire near Runyon Canyon, spreading toward Hollywood Boulevard. Residents are urged to evacuate as wildfires across Southern California leave at least 5 dead, multiple injured, and over 300,000 without power. Black New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell is emphasizing the importance of the city receiving a Tier 1 threat rating for Carnival after a New Year's attack, bringing up to 1,000 federal officers from February 21st to March 4th. Brookhaven, Mississippi leaders have fired a police officer tied to a dismissed attempted murder case. A judge recently threw out charges against Gregory and Brandon Case, accused of shooting at a black FedEx driver in 2022 after a mistrial received. And Minneapolis Police Department swore in its largest and most diverse class in years after losing 500 officers since George Floyd's 2020 murder. I'm Amber Payton on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First.
Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice: continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
Somebody's been praying for me.
Thanks to the generous support of the KBLA Talk 1580 delegation, we were able to donate 545 pounds of coats and blankets to the LA mission this winter season.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
The LA mission expressed its deep gratitude for our gift all over social media, but we wish to thank them and all the other service providers who look out daily for the less fortunate in our community, finding our happy by being helpful.
Hallelujah.
We're KBLA Talk 1580, where we do more than just talk.
Somebody's been praying for me.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. The Live Your Life organization mentors young women, helping them break negative mindsets and see beyond their surroundings. Through career exposure and hands-on training, they're encouraged to think big, stay focused, and make positive choices. Founded by Nikisha Mama Boo Smith, who transformed her life to become a community leader, Live Your Life is changing lives, but they need your help. They're raising funds to keep their new building open and expand their programs. Your donations will support food, clothes, hygiene products, and holiday giveaways. Visit liveyourlife32.com. That's LIVEYOLIFE32.com to help today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
That was another way. I would smoke once an hour. That didn't work either. All that would happen at some point of the day, I would end up doubling up. Other ways that I tried to quit was I stopped buying cigarettes totally. But if I took 3 puffs off of 15 friends, those didn't count because they weren't my cigarettes and they weren't full cigarettes. I went through a lot.
Every attempt is part of your story to quit for good. Visit Kick It California today at kickitca.org.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Let me say the since, baby, since we've been together, ooh, loving you forever is all I need. Let me be the one you come running to. I'll never be untrue. Oh, baby, let's stay together. Loving you whether times are good or bad. You say I'm so in love with you.
When you approach relationships with a realistic understanding of human nature, you free yourself from the trap of constant disappointment. This also applies to expectations you place on yourself. Many people carry the weight of unrealistic self-expectations, believing they must always be the perfect partner, friend, or colleague. While striving for excellence is commendable, perfection is an impossible standard. And the pursuit of it often leads to burnout, self-criticism, and a diminished capacity to be present and engaged in your relationships. A better approach is to aim for growth, striving to improve, while accepting that setbacks and imperfections are a natural part of life. Managing expectations also involves effective communication. It's not enough to simply adjust your own mindset. You must also articulate your expectations clearly and openly. Many conflicts arise not from what is said, but from what is left unsaid. If you expect your partner to understand your needs without expressing them, you are setting both of you up for failure. Similarly, if you are unclear about what you can and cannot offer in a relationship, misunderstandings are inevitable. Clear communication is not about making demands, it's about creating a shared understanding of what each person values and needs. And another critical element in managing expectations is the ability to adapt. Life is unpredictable and relationships are dynamic. What worked yesterday might not work tomorrow. Clinging rigidly to old expectations in the face of changing circumstances can lead to unnecessary conflict. Flexibility is a sign of emotional maturity.
Yo, that man was cooking. Y'all know who it is? Dr. Jordan Peterson. He was cooking. We have an amazing topic tonight, and we got callers from all over the country per usual, and I just love the transparency and the openness that people are providing on this particular topic. With that said, let's go to Pastor John, Mountain View, Hawaii, man. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic, man? Boundaries or ultimatums?
First and foremost, let's pray for the people who are suffering in California according to the burnings and the way God would have it planned.
Thank you, brother.
Now, not to sound like Steve Harvey, let me throw a monkey wrench into this doggone thing. To protect the parents who also protected you in the midst of life when they gave you those same boundaries and ultimatums. When it came to that hot stove, you was either grabbed by an arm who loved you or you was told no very loudly. So again, parents, you did your job. Thank you and bless you for allowing me to be able to understand that the ultimatum or the boundary is still a tool, can be used correctly or incorrectly.
How do you correctly use an ultimatum? And then give me the example for the boundary.
One more time, I repeat. Your mama said your name out loud, full, and you knew the ultimatum.
Charles Rutherford Haywood. If you don't, get your tail. Go ahead. I'm listening.
But mama, thank you. You did your duty and your responsibility according to the knowledge you knew. Bless you. Thank you. He is a good man. Testimony. Testify. Boundary.
Yes.
Just like a hug you don't want to get.
Keep going. Yes.
Because again, you know you want to be held by somebody, even this day. Right now, even. Give me one. But at the same time, let us now equate it to the mindset of human beings as we know in this day and age. The two words come to mind by using boundaries and ultimatums. You're a victim or you're looking to escape something.
Oh, you felt like coming to work today, huh? Is that what you on today? That's what we doing?
I didn't choose violence, but you brought up the subject. I'm just saying.
Yes. I love it, brother. I love it. I know you got more.
Well, I actually know because I want to hear what Mississippi got to say.
You already
Greetings
know.
and blessings to you all. Love you all. And as I say, be safe. Stay dangerous.
Yes, sir. That's John from Mountain View, Hawaii. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. The conversation is going up. It's on fire, too. Too soon. We're still on fire. Yeah, that was too soon. Yeah. Andy's like, yeah, that was too soon. Yeah. Sorry. Pastor John was on fire, though. He did kill it. Anyway, let's get you know who in the building. Nikki from the SIP. Come on in here, Nikki from Mississippi. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Peace and love, family. Brothers old.
Hey.
I'm thinking more about limits as opposed to building walls. Because we aren't talking about healed whole people. So it is important to establish how far you can or cannot go. When I say limits, I mean, for instance, hey, I don't like it if you holler at me because I don't come from a household where men raise their voices with women.
Right.
I'm going to establish that with you early because there are some consequences when that continues to occur. Now we get into the ultimatum side of the game. Because if I establish with you the limits, what works for me, what works for you, what doesn't, vice versa, but you're exhibiting that behavior when you already know that doesn't work because we set the limit, then now I have to question, why are you continuing in the behavior? Is it that your behavior is a mechanism you're using to create what might be considered through your behavior an ultimatum?
You gonna do this. I see you.
As opposed to outright saying, I'm going, or want to go, or about to go, or whatever the consequence is going to be, because you're exhibiting the behavior. See, when we're not healed and you don't come from an environment where limits are established and you see what that looks like, then you grow up to be an adult who is modeling that, gets to the relationship, and you may or may not have a partner who is mirroring.
No, this is deep. This is
okay.
Deep. Are you talking about silent ultimatums?
Yeah. See, there was this lady, Vanetta, who called earlier and said something about men do not articulate, they don't talk. Okay? And they don't always use verbiage, no. But having grown up in a house with men, they do talk, but it's through behavior.
Keep going.
So
yes,
when you're paying attention to Mama said, now baby, boys understand consequences, not conversation. So when you see them repeatedly performing the behavior that equates to the limits that we established from the beginning, see, now I got to start asking questions.
See, and now Attila is in here saying, so the brooding that some men do is another example of a passive-aggressive ultimatum.
It could be.
Ooh.
Now, I'm saying could. You see, don't be sleeping on it. And I'm saying could because atmospheric pressure can create the same response. And when I say that, I don't just mean the weather. I mean, like if you in California, your house just burned down with everything you ever had your whole life. Okay, that's atmospheric pressure.
Come on, I'm listening.
So you might get some of these limits exhibited in the behavior because of the atmospheric pressure. So you got to be paying attention to the guy, to the lady, because chicks can do it too.
Right.
And in my opinion, chicks are better at it than dudes are. But
right.
because we're talking about audibles, okay.
Come on, I'm listening.
I'm, X's and O's. Are we talking about a 5-yard penalty or a 15-yard penalty? Because if you understand the psychology that we have set limits from the beginning with each other, because I don't know what pushes you too far. Is it cigars? Is it a Cuban versus a Brazilian? Is it a Black and Mild?
Come on, Nikki.
Okay. I don't know what those are, right? And so when we're learning, because hopefully we're in them for a long time, you're paying attention to atmospheric pressure and if there's a switch that's happening in the behavior. Because if I took the time with you and you with me to establish what the limit is, you can't push me past here. And if you do that, absent the atmospheric pressure,
right.
Now, what you trying to say?
Now, this is deep. This is good. This topic brought this out of you, Nikki. Good, Nikki. Come on, Nikki. You done gave us football plays. You done gave us scripture. Keep going.
But you got to watch all of it, though. See, that's all a part of, because, again, we're not talking about healed, whole people. Right. We're talking about people who are whips.
Stay with me, Nikki. Don't go nowhere. Stay. She said we're talking about people who are whips, works in progress. When we come forward, man, we going to land this plane.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Ever have one of those days where your gut just feels blah?
Ugh, yes.
Occasional bloating or gas could be signs that your gut is out of balance, but Align Probiotic can help. Align 24/7 Digestive Support is a daily use probiotic with a unique strain to help relieve occasional digestive issues. It's the #1 doctor-recommended brand. So when you feel the signs, it's time to try Align. Align Probiotic. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with DayQuil VapoCool. It's DayQuil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors. Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason in the building. This is 1984. That was my playlist from 1984. We on fire tonight. That's Juicy Fruit. You already know what that is. That's James M. Toomey, man. I met him many years ago. Such a cool brother, man. Wise brother. Rest in peace to that good brother, too, man. We got callers on the line. I want to wrap it up as we land this plane. Nikki, what are your final thoughts on tonight's topic?
Well, just understand and consider. We're not building walls. We're not doing separate. We are just creating an environment where both of us understand how far we can go.
Right.
And once you have crossed the how far we can go, then you need to establish why that is occurring. Because right up to that line is where the consequences come, which can look like ultimatums.
Wow. Which can look like ultimatums. That was deep. Nikki, guess what you just did?
I brought the sip in the building. I love everybody.
Mississippi in the building because of Nikki. We appreciate you. We love you. We love you. We love you. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call us at 1-800-920-1580. Let me get to my final caller tonight. Mimi from Jacksonville, Florida. What up, Mimi? What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Hey, Zoe. Praise for California. Prayers for California.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We need it. We need it.
I wanted to piggyback on what something Nzinga was saying. She was saying that ghosting sometimes can be an ultimatum. And I was saying earlier that in the past, I would say ghosting was an ultimatum. I'd want to know, what did I do? What's going on? Why aren't you calling or whatever? But now ghosting is closure. And I also want to piggyback on something that Truemonger said in the chat, which I thought was very interesting. He was saying something like, when women ask their partners for marriage, that's an ultimatum. I'm paraphrasing. But I want to say, if you've been with someone for a while, and y'all are basically doing everything, you know, you're together, you're intimate, sexually, all of that, I think it's reasonable to ask your partner, since y'all love each other, and you have a desire to get married, I think it's reasonable to ask your partner, do you have a desire to get married to me? Because if not, that could be my healthy boundary of walking away rather than being your ethereal girlfriend until you decide whether I'm worthy or not to be your wife.
And that's fair, Mimi. That is fair. But how do you frame it? Is it framed like if y'all were together 5, 6, 7 years or 4 years or whatever, and you say, listen, time is running out, bro. Y'all, you know how it can be framed a little rickety. If y'all frame it bad and it comes across as, hey, you're wasting my life and my time, that ultimatum could ultimately push the guy away, correct? Or
yes.
My question is, how do you frame it then so it doesn't sound like an ultimatum?
Okay. Baby, you know, we've been together for a while now, and we love each other. Do you think it's time that we take it to the next level?
See, it's not fair because you got that bedroom voice.
That's my power. That's one of my powers.
So the whole
That's
thought process be like, you know, it sound good, baby. It sound real good. But I think, and maybe this is old school or old fashioned, but do you think when a woman asks that it kind of makes the man feel like, hey, you rushing? Because some men, fear of commitment, right? Even in the nice way that you framed it right there, they may take that as an ultimatum. Like, if I don't tell her yes, because you know how we answer our own questions in our heads, right? If I don't tell her yes, that means she might move on.
Zoe, you've been together for 5 years. What's really going on?
Ooh, now it's starting to sound ultimatum-ish. What's really going on is an attack. I feel attacked. What's going on?
I'm saying 5 years. You don't know whether you want to get married in 5 years? Been together for 5 wonderful, beautiful, luscious years, and you don't know whether you want to get married.
She said luscious. You need to knock it off. Knock it off, Mimi. Luscious years. No, let me just say, and it's weird because I think a lot of men would take that as an ultimatum to some degree. Some men would, some men wouldn't. Some men would be like, all right, cool, let's do this. But I think some men might feel like you pressuring them, like you pushing them a little bit. I didn't bring it up. What you bringing it up for? Listen, Mimi, you brought Jacksonville, Florida in the building. We started the conversation. It's up to you to finish it. I'll be back tomorrow to wrap up my week. First week of 2025. I appreciate everybody. And please continue to pray for all of the affected areas in Los Angeles County. Peace.
I need it. I need it. Oh, girl.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 things you should know from BIN News. San Francisco reports its lowest crime rate